Welcome to part 14 of this series, trying to locate the sons of Noah and where they really went to. This is going to be a short summary of what we've been speaking about, because we've been looking at these sons of Noah, Ham, Japheth and Shem, and this is the consensus of scholars, that Japheth is a sphere towards the north in Europe, that Shem is a sphere here in the Middle East and Arabia, and Ham is predominantly in the sphere in Africa. I just want to show you something from the book of Jubilees, because it says that the land of Japheth is cold. So that makes sense with this sphere here going towards northern Europe. And then it says that the land of Ham is hot. So that also makes sense, because we've spoken about the land of Ham, and you can describe that as a hot region. But the one that doesn't make sense is Shem, because we see that sphere for Shem in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. But the book of Jubilees says that the land of Shem is neither hot nor cold, but it is a blended cold and heat. Now this description doesn't really fit, because if you look at this region, you can see it's very dry and arid, and we would describe this as a hot region. It suffers from oppressive heat, constant heat. But if you look where we've been looking, if you want to go below the equator, what's called sub-Saharan Africa, you can see how it becomes lush and green, and you have these large lakes and rivers. And if we think about that description of Jubilees one more time, that the land of Shem is neither hot nor cold, but it is a blended cold and heat, and we think about this region, it does get hot in this region, but it doesn't suffer that extreme heat, that oppressive heat, constant heat of this region. And it does get cold in this region, but it doesn't get that same kind of cold in the northern hemisphere. We think about Siberia and Scandinavia. So how could you describe this? Maybe the way the Jubilees describes it is actually very fitting, that it's a blended of cold and heat, because the land of Shem is supposed to be a good land, and everything in it is supposed to be good, like it says in Jubilees, a spacious land. So that's what we've been looking at, and that's why we're looking at this region. But I thought that this quote really kind of sums it up nicely for the land of Shem.